I'm going to show you how to make a bamboo farm that gives you thousands and thousands of bamboo per hour in Minecraft 1.17. It's completely modular, so you can make it as big or as small as you would like it, and is perfect for being able to power things like XP farms or even making loads of scaffold. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my Minecraft 1.17 farm tutorial series. This is the series where I'm updating a number of my older farms to make them better so they work in 1.17 perfectly, plus adding a few new ones to the list too. Today we are making the bamboo farm, except this bamboo farm is updated, works beautifully in Minecraft 1.17, and depending on how tall you make it, can give you thousands and thousands of bamboo per hour, which means you can use it as fuel for any super smelter or XP bank. To make this farm, you need the items inside this chest. I'm not including all those decorative items. That's up to you how you want to decorate the farm, or even if you want to decorate the farm. This is just the basic requirements to make the farm work. This top row you only need once, and that's if you want 2 double chests. If you want 3 double chests, you need to add an additional hopper. 4 double chests, you need to add 2 additional hoppers. This middle section you need to have for each layer of farm. So for each row of farm, you need all of these items. This bottom section you need for each additional level. So for levels 2 and up, you need all of these extra items as well as this one. So level 2, you need all of these things. Level 3, you need all of those things plus this extra hopper. And the same is true for level 4, level 5 and level 6 and so on, depending on how big you make your farm. Now, if you're limited to floor space, you don't have to make it quite this long, but for optimal, you need a 17x4 rectangle with a little 3x2 rectangle at the end. Come to the end of your long rectangle where the 3x2 is and take out that block. Place a hopper facing into that block. You can see the spout is pointing out. Place another one and then take out those 3 blocks there and another 3 blocks like that. Then come around the side and put a double chest in there and then shift click another double chest in there. Come around this side and with a hopper, shift click a hopper in there and shift click a hopper in there. That will give you 2 double chests worth of volume. If you then take out these 2 blocks, you could access both of these chests very easily. If you wanted to cover that hole up with trapdoors or something like that, you go for your life. Come inside this and take away those 2 end blocks. Place a hopper going into that one and a hopper going into that one. So that's kind of inside your rectangle. And then come to the other end, grab a block of redstone coming 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one, take out the middle 2 and put the redstone in there. Grab a powered rail and come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then get a normal rail and loop all the way around and shift click, looping over those hoppers, and then come all the way back until you come up to the same level as that, and then place in powered rails right to the end. Now you might find, depending on which orientation you are in, north, south or east, west, that rail flips that way. Don't worry about it. Place another rail there, get rid of it, and it flips it around beautifully. Now I've removed the wall and replaced it with other blocks. It was only there for the tutorial just to show you how big the thing was. You can replace these with any blocks you like, or maybe you didn't even put a block there at all. That is all good. Now for this block, you can actually use whatever block you want. You could use stone, you could use glass. I like to use a trapdoor placed from the opposite side like this, just for purely aesthetic reasons. I've got a spruce trapdoor and then I can flap them up. The one advantage of doing that is, of course, then you can access this underside really easily without having to break any blocks. So that is an advantage, but it's entirely up to you. And then at this end, place 1, 2, 3, 4 structural blocks, and then come around on this side exactly the same, place 1, 2, 3 and 4 structural blocks. That is your first level. And then on top of the rails, get some dirt and place a dirt block on top of the rails. If you literally highlight the rail and press the dirt block, because that rail takes up that entirety of the block, even though it's very flat, the dirt will be placed on top. Put dirt over all the rails. Do a second row of whatever block it is you're using. I'm using stone on the ends, and then I'm going to put some stripped oak wood across the front, in front of this dirt, because dirt is not an attractive block, but stripped oak wood is. And that is a really great base for your farm. Then on top of the stripped wood, place a glass block, and then another block of your choice at both ends again. Then on top of all the glass blocks facing inwards, place a piston. Do it on both sides. Then on the back of each piston, place another block. I'm just using the same structural block that I've got at the ends. Once you've got blocks on top of all of those pistons, press crouch or shift and pull back right to the edge of the block. That shift will stop you falling off the block, and place observers all the way along on top of those pistons. Now it's really important that the little redstone bum is facing outwards, the opposite direction of the piston. So when it does a redstone fart and you get your redstone dust that we have got here, it joins up all of those redstone dusts, and each and every one of the redstone dusts gets powered no matter where the redstone fart comes from along this entire row. That will then power the piston and cause the entire row of pistons to fire. And that way you get as much bamboo as you possibly can, because it only takes one bamboo to get as tall as the observer for it to fire off all of the bamboos. Do that on both sides of your farm and build up your end walls to the level of those observers. Now the next step is to put in the bamboo. If you wait to build another layer, you might not be able to reach the dirt. So just pop a bamboo. Sometimes it's a good idea to press crouch or shift just so you don't fall in, because if you fall in, you've got to break blocks to get out, and put bamboo on each and every one of these. You're going to need 30 bamboo if you made it 15 long. Obviously, if it was 10 long, you'd only need 20 bamboo. Now you've got your bamboo in, you can place a block all the way around the outside of the same structural block that you've got at the end. If you're using mixed structural blocks, use whatever you want. I really don't care, it's your build. Now bamboo does need a light level of 7 or more to be able to grow. So when you come in, take 1, 2, 3 from the end and put in 2 glowstone, and at the other end as well, take 1, 2, 3 from the end and put in 2 glowstone. That'll give enough light, no matter how big you've made it, from 15 all the way down to 1, to have plenty of light for this bamboo to grow. Now, if you only want a 1-level bamboo farm, you're done. You don't even have to put a lid on it if you don't want to, because the light from that glowstone will stop any of the blocks at the top being spawnable. However, if you want it to be taller, I'm going to show you how to do that now. But before I do, just to get this thing rolling, open up that trapdoor, or if you didn't use a trapdoor, take the block away and place a hopper minecart on there. That will go backwards and forwards. You can see it will pop up right in front of me and go backwards again. And that will collect up any bamboo that is taken off of the tops and collect it down inside this chest here. Already started to collect it. Now the question is, do you want more? If you want more, doddle. We're going to put some more layers on it, and I'll show you how to connect the layers up really efficiently. So if you're really greedy and you want lots of bamboo, perhaps you've got an XP bank or something like that and you need loads of automated fuel for it, then all you need to do is come to the end that you've got these hoppers sticking out, and this is the reason why the hoppers stick out as far as they do, and build a glass C shape like that, 5 bits of glass. Put a second layer on there like that, and then come into the middle of your C shape, press shift and move forwards as far as you can. Shift is so you don't fall down the hole. Look upwards and place a dropper so as the dropper's bum is facing downwards. Then build this glass layer up so it is 1 below the dropper's level. Like that. And then build out a little platform that is 3 by 4, exactly like that. Get yourself a comparator. Place a comparator there. Get a block that has to be a conductive block and pop that there. Grab a repeater, stick it coming out of that block. Grab another repeater, stick it going into that dropper, and then get 4 bits of redstone. Go 1, 2, 3 and 4. I've only got this glass here just so as it sits and forms a complete end rather than it just jutting out asymmetrically. It just doesn't look quite right. Next, and really importantly, don't forget to do this, right click on the comparator once. That light will come on, and what that means is that every time there's something inside that dropper, it is going to flash a signal through the entire circuit and make the dropper spit it out. Whether it's got 1 thing or 64 things, it'll always manage to spit out every single one, which will go down into your collection system. If that light is not on, that action won't work and the dropper won't spit, so make sure that's done. Come to the block behind that dropper and shift click a hopper into it, and then another hopper into that hopper, and then a third hopper into that hopper. You'll see that the hopper spouts are kind of facing in a chain that go into that dropper. That means anything that goes into those hoppers will end up in the dropper and get spat out and put down in the bottom. Let me just demonstrate that. If I do that, in it goes. You can see that spits it, and that will appear in my chest just like that. Then come to the opposite end, and on the inside of your glowstone place 2 redstone blocks, and then put a cap of whatever structural block you want to put on here whatsoever. It is entirely up to you, and fill it all up. Then, just like before, you want to build yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 powered rails. Bring these rails all the way along, loop round across those hoppers, come all the way back to the same level as that redstone, and then change to rails, and then place end blocks all the way along there. And from that point, all you need to do is repeat exactly what you built on the first level, on top of the first level, to make a second level. And just like that first level, make sure that you put yourself a minecart with hopper in there so it collects up all the bits and pieces and delivers it down to the collection system down there. You can see now that this second level is growing this bamboo along nicely, and as soon as one of those bamboos on either sides hits the face of that observer, the observer will see that change, it will let out a little redstone fart, and off comes the top 2 layers of the bamboo collected by the minecart hopper and thrown into the system. But what if you want more than 2 layers, Avomance, I hear you say? Well, that bit could not be more easy. Grab a hopper and shift click a hopper into the top of that dropper there, and then all you need to do is build out another C shape around that hopper and build up in exactly the same way as you did in the last one. Get yourself a dropper, face it downwards above that hopper, get yourself glass going all the way up, build a platform exactly like the one underneath, and repeat the process. Then once you've got your platform on here like this, all you need to do is build it up in exactly the same way as you did the level underneath. And you can carry on making levels like this right up to your build limit. We are going to do a test with a triple height system just to see how much bamboo we get in a not very long time. We are going to do a test for 15 minutes on this 3 high system. We've got 2 rows of 15 in each of the levels. That's 30, 60, 90 bamboo growing all at the same time. How much bamboo will that give us in 15 minutes? I'm going to empty this chest entirely of bamboo and start the clock now. And that is exactly 15 minutes. So let's come down here before we get too much extra. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll call it 40. 5 and 40 bamboo in 15 minutes. So that is 360 bamboo in 15 minutes, or 1,440 bamboo per hour, which should be enough to fuel a furnace pretty much constantly for the entire time. You can, on average, add 480 bamboo per hour for each level that you add on to your structure, as long as your levels have 30 bamboo in each, 15 in 2 rows. Each level is only 6 blocks tall, so you can actually make this fella really quite high. The only limitation is the amount of resource that you need, and actually in reality you could take off all but one of those observers in the middle if you wanted to on each side. It just means that you might find that the bamboo grows up past the 3rd level before the middle one grows. It's entirely up to you. If you've not got that many observers, just use 1 on each side right in the middle. And of course, if you wanted to, you can fancy it up to make it look just a little bit nicer. That is a really very simple bamboo farm that you can make with, okay, a few resources, but it's not too bad really given the kind of yields and the amount of space that it takes up. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comments below how tall you're going to make your bamboo farm, because I'd be really interested to see whether or not we've got some real skyscrapers out there. Will any of you put it to build limit? Oh, by the way, this is relatively server friendly. I say relatively because you need to make sure you light up all of your redstone so there's no light updates, but it's not too bad. If you have enjoyed that video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoyed them, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you're not done already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.